Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler, and this is an oddball episode. It is not going to feature a home video item per se. It is featuring an item that is celebrating, or items that are celebrating Star Wars home video. So if you're just looking for home video, you might skip it, but it is kind of a neat little side thing. In looking for just oddball items to add to my collection, little side items that aren't necessarily home video items themselves, but somehow relate to it, I ran across a set of cards recently that I really hadn't heard of, because I just don't collect trading cards. It's just not my thing. Now, card games, depending on the game, absolutely. Absolutely. Just recently, I was playing through the campaign for Ruin of Thandar for Hero Realms. I love that deck-building game, hence why I had a Nate's Favorite Deck-Building Games series on the channel, though I never did get to Hero Realms. I only talked about Star Realms from that company. But I'm not into trading cards, so I don't really keep an eye out for new releases, particularly ones that might have some home video reference, because I don't really think that such a thing would typically exist. But in 2017, there was a 40th anniversary card set for Star Wars that was essentially celebrating the 40th anniversary of A New Hope in theaters and highlighting different moments in its evolution, in the saga's evolution over time, which meant that three key events in Star Wars home video releases, that is the 1982 initial release of A New Hope, the first time we had a full version at home of any Star Wars film on home video. In the US, of course, that was on Laserdisc and CED and VHS and Beta. In other regions, you also saw some other formats like Video 2000, like the Spaceballs we saw last time, Video 2000. We saw that in the UK, for instance. But that was a major moment, so that was celebrated. The 2004 initial release of the original trilogy on DVD, that was celebrated, though oddly not the first Star Wars DVD release for any of the films, which would have been Phantom Menace in 2001. They kind of got the shaft, but whatever. And the 2011 Complete Saga Blu-ray release for episodes 1 through 6, which, again, is not the first Star Wars Blu-ray release. That was the Clone Wars film, but whatever. Complete Saga gets to be the one that is celebrated. But those three different events each got a card in this 2017 40th anniversary card set from Topps. And not only did they get a card, this trading card set does what many of them do, which is part of why I don't collect them, which is to have all kinds of different special versions and variants of those cards, as if I'm one to gripe about anything that someone collects having variants, right? But with cards, it's just not my thing, so sure, consider that sort of a very hypocritical gripe, but no. I will not begrudge those collectors their variant hunts any more than they should begrudge mine. It just makes it now something that is kind of a head-scratcher for me as I look at the different versions of this out there and realize that, unlike with home video, this is definitely going to be something where, for these cards that we're going to look at, there's no way I'm ever going to get all the variants, and I will delve into why. Again, there were three. I'm going to take out the base version of each from its little protective sleeve here to show you these. So the Complete Saga got this card right here. You've got the Star Wars sort of foil-looking logo there, Star Wars The Complete Saga with the cover art. And then down at the bottom, it says, Star Wars Saga is released on Blu-ray, 40 Years of Star Wars, --whatever, 2011, putting it in its proper context. The back, then, gives that title again, and then has some information about it with Star Wars and legalese at the bottom with the Topps logo down here. The information on the back says, released on September 6, 2011, Star Wars The Complete Saga pretty much lived up to its title. It featured all 6 Star Wars movies in digital form, resulting in the most impressive home incarnation of the saga ever created. Yes, digital in the sense that that's how Blu-ray is stored, but of course nowadays that may sit back and say, wait, digital? Then why were there physical discs at all, and so on? And no, digital copies were not included at the time with Blu-ray for this set. Additionally, a plethora, would you say I have a plethora? A plethora of extra features was included, with behind-the-scenes material and other creative elements designed to please fans of both trilogies. This is card number 95, and the fact that it is this black background lets you know it's the base version, the regular card in this 200 card set. However, in every pack, and this is insight that I'm getting from looking at some collecting websites, so I don't have personal experience with this, excuse me if any of this is incorrect, but my understanding is that in every pack, there would be one card that was green bordered. So you had a chance of getting this so-called parallel, this different version of essentially the same card with a green background instead. So there's a green version of that one I've managed to acquire here. I'm going to leave this in the protective case because we've already looked at the details here. It's just a green background on the same card. And then in every 4 packs, 1 out of every 4 packs, you would also then have the chance of getting a blue background version of a card. And that's kind of your standard ways of getting these parallels. The green or the blue, with green being more common than blue, and black being the most common of all. We then have one to celebrate the DVD release there. In Star Wars up in the corner, cover art there. They went with the art that matched the poster rather than the Vader face. Then you've got original trilogy released on DVD, and 40 Years of Star Wars - 2004. Black border, common version, a similar design to the back, of course. Its number is 88, and the text reads, "The 3 original Star Wars films had been released on home video several times." That's putting it mildly. With formats including VHS, Beta, Laserdisc, and CED video disc. Awesome that they mentioned CED. This is the US market, presumably they're talking about, so they're not mentioning other formats here. Initial transfers were derived from 35mm pan and scan elements. That is full screen to us now, 4x3. But as the buying population became more sophisticated, feel like I should be on a Canto Bite now. I'm going to be that sophisticated. Widescreen letterbox versions were employed. Whew, letterbox. But was the way to watch them at the time. In 2003, a new DVD release provided better color timing, cleaned up negative restoration, and certain changes to make the original films more compatible with the prequels. What's wrong with that sentence for anyone who even reads the damn card's title on the front or back? It was not in 2003 that we got the DVD release, as the text says. It was in 2004, as this says, and this says. Whoever wrote the titles got it right, whoever wrote the text got it wrong. You had one job. As for me, my job is being an anal retentive collector, so of course, there's also a green version to hunt down, and a blue version to hunt down of that one. There are more versions. I don't have those. We'll talk about what those are when we look at the last of these. And the last of these, as I pull it out of my protective sleeve here, the last of these is this one, the first in the set at number 66. Yes, 66. Cool, huh? See, only a Star Wars would be like, 66, order 66, yes! Whereas, otherwise it's going to be stuff like Bill and Ted and, frat boys being like, 69, dudes! Nope, we get excited over 66. Since 2005. Anyway, we have the art there that is not exactly what we saw with the home video release, but very, very close here. It's kind of shifted from what we would expect, and it has a Star Wars logo at the bottom. It's not quite exactly, but close. At least they're basing it on the same poster art here. Then it says at the bottom there, Star Wars released on home video. Interestingly, it does say Star Wars, not A New Hope, even though A New Hope was the name that it bore in all the home video releases, except 2006, because, of course, the subtitle was added as of 81, so it was on all those copies here, and it does say 40 Years of Star Wars - 1982, of course, the correct year on that part, at least, and a similar back design here as well, which reads, "The home video experience was just getting underway in the late 1970s when Star Wars hit movie theaters." See, in that case, that is a proper use of the term without A New Hope, because when it first hit theaters, in fact, when it was in theaters the first 3 times, it didn't have the subtitles, only the 4th that it did. When Star Wars hit movie theaters and changed the world of popular culture. Consumers interested in collecting feature films for their VHS and Betamax players. Betamax is the brand name, Beta is the format, but most people just call it Betamax, though, technically. Were delighted when George Lucas's instant classic was finally released in May 1982. Laserdisc and CED video disc formats were also served. The format of the movie used was a 35mm pan and scan non-widescreen version. Now, I am kind of going to forgive them their phrasing here. It was finally released in May 1982. Yes, for rental. It was not available for purchase in May of '82, unless you had one of those shady rental places giving you a lifetime rental by selling it to you essentially under the table. This was the home video version that we know as the Video Rental Library Edition. In June, you had Laserdisc. In August, you had CED. In September, you finally had VHS and Beta to purchase. But May of '82, which they're touting here as the release on home video, I'm looking at the back, what they're touting here is true from a certain point of view. But if you're talking about people being able to buy them for home, you're a few months early on VHS and Beta here, though less so for the disc-based formats. Seeing things like this is like when Rancho Obi-Wan, Steve Sansweet's outfit, posted something about a home video release that was demonstrably wrong and corrected repeatedly by people in the Star Wars home video community and still kept the same incorrect caption. It just bugs me. Anyway, we have green, we have blue, again, 1 per pack for some green card, not necessarily that one, 1 in every 4 packs for some blue card, not necessarily that one. But then you have one more that I've managed to get my hands on that you could find, I believe, in just regular packs. My understanding is the other ones were only available in hobby packs, but they were incredibly rare, so I don't expect to ever get those, so I'm not looking for them. There were only 100 made total of a purple variant of each card. And I've got the one for the 1982 celebration here. So there is a black standard, a green 1 per pack of some green, a blue 1 in every 4 packs for some card, a purple one where they only made 100, and these have a foil number out of 100. Mine happens to be 79, which is kind of cool because that is my birth year. Up there at the top. There were also, however, gold versions and red versions. The gold versions were limited to only 40 ever produced and were marked as hobby, so I'm assuming they only came in hobby boxes, or maybe they were easier to get in hobby boxes. But only 40 of the gold border versions were made at all. 100 of these, 40 of those. And then you had a red border version. And as a collector, this would be something that would drive me insane, which is it makes it a very good thing that I don't collect the trading cards. Because I'm a completist in a lot of ways. I'm like that with board games and stuff like that as well. The other variant that is not a printing plate thing, which is a one-of-one thing, but of course it's a printing plate, so of course it'd be a one-of-one thing. There's a red border version of these cards. Also found apparently most commonly within hobby boxes. For the red version, there weren't 100 made, or 40 made like gold. There was one copy of every red border card made. That's it. That's batshit crazy to me. That boggles my mind. I mean, I guess it's kind of like having like a unique autograph card or something maybe, but the prices for these, when you do run into these on the hobby market, are insane, at least to someone who's not a card collector. But I don't know. All these different parallels by themselves to me feel ridiculous, but again, I am not a card collector, I'm a home video collector. Card collectors would look at my stuff and see all the variants to say that that is ridiculous as well, and that is certainly a fair criticism going in either direction, so I guess we should give ourselves some leeway here on both sides of it. But boy, the idea of having trading cards with variant colors, where one of the variant colors only has one card in existence ever, that just seems nuts to me. That seems like it's not a trading card thing, that's just something different in terms of rarity. But I don't know, apparently so. Apparently that is the way that they handled at least one of those parallels. So while I do not intend to ever try to hunt down the red ones from any of these three, or really even the gold ones, or honestly any other purple ones unless I just happen to come across them, I thought it'd be just kind of a cool thing to add to my Star Wars home video library to sort of celebrate these releases and have something else that's home video related from another type of product to include within my collection. So your mileage will vary. You can find some of these fairly easily. It's fairly easy to find the black ones and the green ones. Not so easy with the purple. Blue is kind of hit or miss depending on when you happen to look on eBay. Red, good freaking luck, and so on. Gold, kind of the same thing. But red, presumably that is in the collection of someone who is not parting with it because it is literally a one-of-a-kind item, apparently, for each card. But with that, we'll wrap up this rather long tangential episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers and the Star Wars card collectors, especially those willing to hunt down and put up with the idea of a one-of-one card. I salute you, and you have my condolences on how that hunt is probably going to turn out, because I know how hunting for a Holy Grail can suck when you can't find it as a fellow collector. Good luck, and may the Force be with you if you're looking for those.